Institutional issues. In reality, I have to say, on the international front and in the IASB, nothing is really changing, neither in terms of strategy, of governance, financing, funding, nothing really that we can see changing, to the contrary. But in Europe, as you know, we have been giving some thought to our own reflection, to our own action in the field of accounting standard setting. Basically, this was very much in parallel to what the Japanese authorities and stakeholders have been doing recently as well. So Mr. Barnier, the European Commissioner, has asked Mr. Philippe Maystadt, who is a former Belgian finance minister, to reflect on the matter. And he's just come up with some proposals that have just been discussed at the Council of Ministers level. Basically, one of the set of proposals has to do with improving the organization, which he says very clearly is not satisfactory within EFRAG. We had been discussing that, and you know that we were all thinking that there was margin for improvement, which I guess we will be able to achieve as soon as possible. The second set of proposals has to do with whether Europe has to endorse the standards coming from the IASB as they are, or whether Europe could think of a margin for maneuvering in case it was absolutely necessary for financial stability, for economic purposes at the level of the continent. And this is a very important question which Japan has been thinking of, but in reality, all other countries on all continents in this world view the constitution, the elaboration of a world accounting standard, which is what we need and what we want, as a process which should accommodate the necessity to take into account a number of reality as opposed to a number of concepts. And given where we are today in terms of the accounting standards at international level, the importance of taking into account what comes from the bottom is absolutely key, because as I try to explain sometimes, when it comes from the top down to the bottom, it's so complex and raises so many questions that in a way or in another, some changes have to be made. How we operate that, how we do, every country will invent that. I personally believe that we'll have to come to a common view on these things in a very cautious manner, one way or another, one day or another. These are things that are moving, and we will produce a very strong and robust world standard, but in a pragmatic and I hope rational manner.